everybody. Welcome back to the Blue Lake City Council meeting. We are moving on to item number 12, appoint to Arts and Heritage Commission. City Manager Short, can you fill us in on this a little bit?
Sure. The Arts and Heritage Commission has 7 spaces on it. It requires 4 to have a quorum. You currently have 2 that are filled, and you have 2 applicants in front of you. One is Sherry Green, and the other is Seamus Kistner. I know Seamus is here. I don't know. Is Sherry here? Okay. So you have their information. It's just a matter of choosing whether or not you're ready to appoint.
Okay, great.
I have something to share,
Sure,
if I
please.
may. It's been probably a year since the council decided to change this commission from 7 members to 5.
Oh, really?
And the
I didn't write this. Jill wrote it.
Yeah, the municipal, yeah.
Okay,
Well, it's
good.
understood because the municipal code was never updated.
Oh,
But it was an official council action, and I don't have the exact date for you, I
About a year
apologize.
ago.
But I'm thinking it was at least a year.
I'll look for it. I was excited that you had 4, so you'd have a quorum. 4 out of 5 would be even better.
Yeah, yeah, we can, yeah, so they have been forming a quorum of 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
They also, I think they originally had like 12 designees in this.
Wow.
This
Yeah,
is
10
all-
non-voting members, it says.
Right.
Wow.
I have a question. On page 112, appointment to Arts and Heritage, page 113, Economic Development Commissioners on the grid. Just to clarify,
Oh.
this is Arts and Heritage?
Okay, I didn't
Is that
write
correct?
all of these Jill wrote that were
Okay,
related to
okay.
the commissions. I know Seamus and Sherry
Yeah,
were
they're-
both
okay.
applying for
Yeah, I think
the
that
Arts
this
and
is.
Heritage
Yeah,
Commission.
Arts and Heritage,
Yeah.
so correction on page 113.
Yeah, I think maybe just the table got copied over wrong.
Okay, thank you.
And council, before we begin on the appointment process, I know we agreed that when someone is coming forward as a new candidate for these commissions, they need to be in person, otherwise we generally like delay the appointment. However, with reappointments, do we want to continue to hold that standard, or do we want to just appoint, since we already know who they are and they're already actively part of our commissions? I prefer we just appoint once they're on there, if they're not a new candidate, but I'll leave it up to you guys how you proceed with that.
I think that's a fair thing to do, especially if they've been faithfully, attending meetings, and participating. So I don't have a problem with that.
Terry, would you like to run on that? Or go through with it?
I would be in agreement to that.
Yeah.
I'll defer to the council on that, but I think in the future, we still, things can change, and that opportunity to be able to ask questions, I think is still an important part of the process.
But it shouldn't disqualify them from.
I think, we're working with some older forms that maybe could use some updating, and I think on the application, it says that, it's strongly suggested to be present, but I think, as a requirement, and one of the things in that was because we have people who would apply and then get appointed, and then they wouldn't show up, and they didn't even show up for the questions. So, what we're trying to do is instead of just building in what probably will be lack of ability to form a quorum, it would be, if you're really interested, please come. We can ask questions, public could ask questions.
Great,
So, thank you.
I like that. All right, are we ready to begin on the appointment process for Arts and Heritage?
Yes.
Okay. Seamus Kistner, are you here? Here. All right, great. Come forward and we'll ask you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you want to be on Arts and Heritage, and then we'll ask you some questions. Hi.
I'm Seamus Kistner. I'm newly moved to Blue Lake in October. I'm originally from San Diego, moved out to Humboldt around 7 years ago now. Haven't turned back since. And I have a lot of experience in photography, videography. I currently work over at Blue Lake Rancheria as their communications specialist. So I do all of like the news articles, web design, Facebook posts, all that kind of fun stuff, take pictures for them. But yeah, I have a little bit of experience in graphic design, photography, do a little bit of freelance work in that as well, and just kind of want to help out however I can with those skills.
Nice,
Great,
thank you.
thank you. Does anyone have any questions?
I do. I see that you have a lot of experience, obviously, in video, or in, as you stated. Have you ever organized any music events?
Casually for a friend in the past, once or twice, yes. I wouldn't say any crazy productions, but I have done like some events set up and whatnot as far as like logistics go and the actual physical setup. I've taken pictures at events and done video as well.
Great, thank you.
Great. Any other questions? Does the public have any questions for the candidate?
Welcome.
Thank you.
All right. If there's no further questions, do we want to entertain a motion?
I would move that we,
Kat, did you have a question?
No.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
I would move that we appoint Seamus Kistner to the Arts and Heritage Commission.
Just to clarify, pronouncing your first name,
Okay,
Seamus?
Seamus, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
No worries,
Thank you.
happens all the time.
I would second that. I would second that.
Yeah, like the restaurant, yeah. There's an invisible H in there somewhere.
I know.
Motion was made by Scafani, seconded by Louis Lusso. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we also have the appointment of Sherry Green. She is not here tonight, but she did apply. Does anyone have any comments or questions about it? Does the public wish to comment on this appointment? Yes, go ahead.
I don't know why, Adeline Jones, I don't know why Sherry is not here this evening, but I know that she attends these meetings regularly. She's a really strong member of the Arts and Heritage Commission. She's a very artistic person on her own. And I would strongly recommend that she be reappointed to the Arts and Heritage Commission.
Great, thank you. Last call for public comment and on Zoom. Seeing none, we'll bring it back to council. Any further discussion?
I would like to make a motion that we appoint Sherry Green to the Arts and Heritage Commission.
Motion made by Scafani,
Second.
seconded by Baylitz. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none, welcome Sherry. All right, moving on to the Economic Development Commission.
So this one's a little more complicated.
Sure.
It's got 5 people. I went to their meeting in January and met the people. Unfortunately, Kelly Costa is not interested in being reappointed, and neither is Cindy. And so I had spoken with Linda Cooley. I thought that she was going to submit an application. I reached out to her last week before we posted the agenda. I did not get a response. So at this point, you don't have enough commissioners or applicants to be able to fill this commission with a quorum.
Okay.
I would also want to clarify that Darcy Lima resigned a few months ago.
Oh,
Yeah, oh, yeah, she wasn't there. Okay, so we only have one.
So do we have anyone, who's reapplying? Is anyone reapplying?
Nobody.
Nobody's reapplying.
And no new applicants either.
Okay,
Okay.
so we no longer have a safety, excuse me, a
Economic,
Economic
yeah.
Development Commission.
All right, well, we'll have to work on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
Moving on to Parks and Rec.
So
City
for-
Manager Short, go ahead.
Yes, for Parks and Rec, you have 3 commissioners who are expiring. They are Bettina Epner, Jan Henry, and Jeff Bird. We received applications for renewal from Bettina and Jan, and we also received an application from Tim Daniels to take one of the positions. There's a vacant position that ends in 2027, and there's also a position that will be a 2-year position that is open.
Tim's not here, right?
Nope. I don't see him.
He was here earlier, though.
Yeah, he was. He made a comment earlier.
Do you guys want to make a sweeping motion on the 2 applicants we know about, or the reappointments, or do we want to have a discussion around it?
I think it would be a good opportunity then to just put it on the schedule for the next regular council meeting. And that would be a good point to have people come in.
For just Tim Daniels, or for all 3?
And let's just,
Okay, well, they have a meeting scheduled for next week, right? That's been agendized already?
I would like to, I'd like to make a motion that we reappoint the 2 continuing members.
Second.
So that's Bettina and Jan Henry.
Correct.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Oops.
Motion made by Scafani, seconded by Lewis, so I need to open this up for public comment. Does the public wish to comment on this item? Seeing none, we'll bring it back to council. Is there any further discussion before we vote? All right, let's go ahead and vote. All those in favor of reappointing our applicants that are already on the board, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none. If Tim could come to our next meeting.
I'll let him know.
And we'll,
We'll put it on February 24th.
great.
And can I
And let him know.
Yeah.
Can I clarify, so James Brown will still be on it, Jeff Bird what is the situation?
His expired, so he's no longer on the commission, and
Okay.
he didn't reapply.
He didn't apply, okay, all right.
All right, moving on to public safety. City
Okay.
Manager Short, would you fill us in on this?
Yes. So again, this one's a little complicated. So we have 3 of the 5 spots that are expiring. They were filled by Adeline Jones, Ted Hales, and Alexander Ricka. And the other 2 have another year. At the time that we posted the agenda, there were 2 applicants that had submitted their information. It was for Ted Hales and for Adeline Jones as renewals. Since then, we have received these 3 additional applicants that were on your dais. I have an extra copy in my binder if somebody wants one. There was one out there too. So they are Cynthia Carlson and also Angela Dare and Joshua Stark. And I know Joshua and Angela are here. Oh.
And Cynthia.
And Cynthia, okay, excellent.
Great,
And Adeline and Ted. I think you have pretty much all of them.
okay. Let's go ahead and,
So just to be clear, I mean, I appreciate the grid, but we have 3 positions
Yes.
open.
Correct.
And
5 applicants.
5, perfect.
Yes.
and is Alex not reapplying?
He didn't, no.
Okay.
All right, so this is gonna be a
Well,
little,
let's start
How would
getting
you
some
like-
people up here.
how would you guys like to start?
I think we should do the interviews.
Okay. Uh, Ted Hales, you're the first one in the packet. Would you come forward for comments and questions?
Sure.
Well, tell us a little
Good
bit. Evening. Tell us a little bit about yourself and why you want to continue to be on the Safety Commission.
Okay. Those who don't know, I'm Ted Hales. I served 26 years with the United States Army National Guard, 24 years active duty. All of the time was with the military police, and retired as Assistant Operations Sergeant for the 49th Military Police Brigade. A lot of the service was up here in Humboldt County from '87 till 2004. I served with the detachment in Eureka. Started out as an assistant training NCO, deployed the LA riots, deployed Operation Just Cause, did a few other stateside deployments, and then was promoted to the operations NCO for that detachment. Eventually deploying to Iraq, and then after that promoted and moved out of the area. During that time, I developed a lot of relationships with the local law enforcement, sheriff department, the Eureka Police Department, and some of the other outlying jurisdictions, and still have some relationship with the people that are in charge of there, particularly the chief of police of Eureka PD. And I've enjoyed serving on the Safety Commission this past year, hashing out things. A little bit, maybe a little slower than might happen in the military, but it's certainly, it's good to work with the public, and I look forward to serving another year if you'll have me.
Great, thank you. You guys have any questions for Ted Hales?
Was your term a partial term?
No, it was a one-year term. It was a full term.
Well, 2 years is the full term.
Yeah.
Is that
So
two?
So you were
we signed it up for 2 years.
Oh, was there? Oh, okay, was there,
Okay.
Yeah,
Trick question.
Went fast.
whatever the slot says. I'll re-up.
Great. Does the public have any questions for Ted Hale? All right. Ted, I'll let you go ahead and have a seat, and we'll get back to you. Next up is Adeline Jones. Adeline, come forward for questions.
Yeah, I'm getting really familiar with this spot here. I should put my name plaque up. Okay, I'm here.
Tell us a little bit about why you want to be on the Safety Commission.
I've been the chairperson of the Public Safety Commission for the last almost year. I think I started in February of last year. I was unanimously appointed as the chair. Obviously, I've had 30 years of being on the city council. I bring that institutional knowledge to the position. 12 of those 30 years, I was mayor of Blue Lake and proud to be. I was a teacher with Eureka City Schools for 30 years. I retired about 10 years ago? No, 2013 is when I retired, so it's 13 years since I've retired. I was really proud of some of the accomplishments of the Public Safety Commission this past year. We had a very successful public safety fair in September, and I worked with Lynn Glenn on getting that together, and Molly Homan from the Resource Center, despite the rain and the conflict with another fair in Arcata. We did have a successful fair. I was also part of getting the emergency phone number refrigerator magnets for the city. I got the donations of $200, $100 from the Wanikas that I'm a member of, and $100 from the Grange, which I'm also a member of. And they were only $200 for $500 of those, so it was a good deal. And I was proud to have that happen for the city. And then we took a Saturday and handed out surveys to the I Street neighborhood. John was with us, and Ted and John's mom. And we covered the neighborhood pretty well and got a good cross-section of people that wanted to weigh in on that neighborhood. So that was another highlight of the year. So it's been a very successful year. I have a lot of experience with getting people together that have diverse interests and opinions, and we're able to work together and have a very cohesive commission. So I'd like to continue on it, if it's the pleasure of the council. Thank you.
I wanted to just say I was really excited when, after the runoff election, having you come forward to be appointed to the Safety Commission at the time. It was like we were going to build a community together.
I love Blue Lake. I'm not giving up on this town, you know. And some people just throw their hands up in the air and they don't want to help and they don't want to participate. And I'm not one of those people. I'm one of those people that just says, no, where can I find some place where my talents can be used? And this was the place that I found. So thank you.
Does the council have any questions for Adeline? No questions? Okay. Public have any questions? All right. Thank you. Have a seat, Adeline.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see. Next up is Angela Dare. You want to come forward? Hey, Angela.
Hi, guys.
Go ahead and introduce yourself and let us know why you want to be on the Safety Commission.
I'm Angela Dare. You want to know a little about me?
Yeah.
I'm a retired hairdresser for 40 years. I got out of retirement and I went back to the beauty college, and I was the financial aid officer, and basically just wherever I was needed. I was an instructor on the floor. I did the reception, so wherever I was needed. You guys don't know this, but in the beauty business, safety is number one. So I know a lot about that type of safety. I want to be on the commission because I've been coming to council meetings, and I actually have been to safety meetings. There was a period of time where I went to all the meetings because, as someone said, you have to at that time, you had to go to every meeting because it was a maze just to try and figure out what was happening. So I was going to every meeting. I love being a part of the council meetings. And one of the questions was, do I do anything in the community? And a couple of years ago, I taught quilting for free. Someone had done that for me for a 6-month period here in Blue Lake. So I did that for a 6-month period here in Blue Lake. I didn't charge anyone. That's where I met Cynthia. She was one of my students. So yes, I love being part of the herd. I'd like to be in the center of the safety herd. I would like to do my part in serving my community instead of just being in the audience.
Thank you. Any questions for Angela? What's your what appeals to you the most about the Safety Commission as opposed to the other commissions?
Well, I see safety things that happen all the time that could be addressed.
Okay. Public have any questions for the candidate? Julie Christie, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm distracted with the animals. I just want to commend our applicants. I may be interrupting at the wrong time, but I really support Ted and Angela, as people that I know that anyone else in this community, can genuinely like come into the meetings. I think they'll help support a lot of the base that Lynn is already kind of setting in our Public Safety Commission, with CERT and pods and getting our sheriff's reports and stuff coming along. So I just really do support Ted and Angela, and thank you guys for being there.
Thank you. Let's see. Thank you, Angela.
Thank you.
Joshua Stark.
We gotta get Cynthia out there.
Hi, my name is Joshua Stark.
Thank you, Joshua.
So I moved up here about 10 years ago. I currently have a contractor's license and build houses. And I'm going to school to do home inspections for real estate sales. I got involved in a lot of the neighborhood pods in Blue Lake and participated in the safety fairs with the neighborhood pods, trying to grow and get to know the neighbors so we can help people. I tabled at the Blue Lake School at the Health and Wellness Fair with the safety pods. I also attended the North State Emergency Management Conference that was held at the casino that brought together CAL FIRE, Changing Tides, people who dealt with architecture and how architecture interfaces with the wildfires, and how all those communities, all those agencies come together and respond to disasters. I was around Santa Rosa when the Tubbs fire happened, and it was chaos. And they learned a lot there about how to do text message systems, how to put people on evacuations, how to put them on warnings. So learned a lot through the years, through different things, and I would like to participate and contribute to the community.
Great.
Great.
What appeals to you most about the Safety Commission as opposed to the other commissions?
It's nice when something happens in the community to see, to be able to be out and help people that are in need. There was, not this last flood, but the flood before, where during up at the Patriot gas station, I was up doing sandbags, helping the flooding, get the water away from that. And it was nice to see they were just appreciative of people coming out and helping. And so being able to contribute to make things flow smoother and make things better and be more prepared, to respond to things is, I think, appeals to me.
Great. Any
Thank you.
questions? Any questions? Public, any questions? All right. Oh,
Okay.
Julie, go ahead.
Oh my gosh, sorry you guys. I have to apologize. I've just got a lot going on. But yes, I don't want to leave Josh out. I realize we need 3 applicants for a full set in our public safety. And again, going back to my comments when I was kind of putting my preference out for Ted and Angela. Josh is actually kind of a neighbor of mine, and I've never really met Josh except for soliciting for another council person, and we were kind of going door to door to neighbors and talk about somebody that was like welcoming, brought me into their home, discussed items of concern and thought, and was totally supportive. And I think that's really important when we're building our commissions, is just having that atmosphere. So yeah, I just want to throw Josh in since we have 3 applicants. And I'll just leave those as my comments for now for the commissions. And Rebecca Collins coming, if she hasn't already, totally support that. Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you. Next up is Cynthia Carlson. Thank you, Joshua.
Thank you.
Hey, Cynthia.
Hi, my name is Cynthia Carlson. I'm used to talking to students, not adults. So, I've been a teacher here at Blue Lake for 10 years. I'm a very active person in communities, whether it was my church, teaching, heading off different organizations within our church. My husband and I are both ham operators. We have a big tower, if you know where the tower is, over by the mountain lion statue. So we have a tower, so if it ever is needed, it's always there. I like helping others. I'm really into safety of all people, even with my husband, because he's disabled, so I always have to think of safety for him. So I want to just be involved with our community, because I'm retired and I have nothing else to do. So that's about all I can think of.
Great. What appeals most to you about the Safety Commission?
Just getting involved with the community, looking out for others that need help, whether it's safety issues, whether it's a ramp for a disabled person, or like floods, because that last flood we had, it caved in my roof in my studio. You know, so it's just looking for others that need the hand up.
Great. Any questions for Cynthia Carlson? Any questions? Seeing none, public? All right, bring it back to council.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we've gone through all of our candidates. How would we like to handle the appointment process? Do we want to just entertain motions or go through one by one? And let's see how many seats we have before we start voting.
We have 3 seats.
3 seats, thank you. Okay, so we have 3 seats for 5 applicants. How does the council wish to move forward?
Well, that's a tough one. Lynn, you didn't say anything.
You need ham.
You're not up for reappointment, though, are you?
I would think so.
As part of the commission and as part of public safety, I think that it's really important that we have a collaborative, a full commission. I'm excited that there's this many to fill the spots, because this is such an important commission. Not that the others aren't, that's not what I meant. However, the collaborative efforts by people on the commission in working with our community is really of the utmost importance. And so I'm excited that we have so many people to choose from who seem really passionate about this position.
I should say that Josh has done a lot for the cause too. He's really stepped up and been more active, I think, than many of the other folks even on our committee who've been there for a long time. So, good job.
Thank you.
I am really glad that I got to meet everybody and hear you all speak. And because I am involved with one of the applicants, I'm going to recuse myself from the choosing of the applicants.
Okay.
So,
You're gonna step out? Okay, bye. Get out. All righty.
Alrighty.
Do we wish to go through one by one, or do we want to select our candidates? Okay.
All right, yeah, no, I'll make a motion. You know, Ted is already there. He's got a really strong background in safety, and I think a passion, and I think he's had consistent attendance. So I don't know if I'm not gonna go through the list, I'll make one, but I think since he's already been there.
Great. Motion made by Napier to appoint Ted Hales. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Bayless. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, hearing none. Thank you, Ted.
Thank you.
Do we have another appointment?
I would like to appoint Josha Stark as a public safety commissioner.
We have a motion made by Louis Lusso to appoint Joseph Stark to the Safety Commission, seconded by Napier. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none. Welcome, Joseph. All right, we have one more choice. One more position to fill.
Well, I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna do it. I would like to make a motion to appoint Angela Dare to the Public Safety Commission.
Motion made by Louis Lusso,
Second.
seconded by Napier to appoint Angela Dare to the Safety Commission. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none. Welcome, Angela.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone who applied for that position.
Yes, absolutely. This was a tough one.
Will
Thank
you
you.
ask Elise to come back in? Okay.
Ham radio.
All right, moving on to
Bye-bye.
the appointment to the Planning
That's cool.
Commission. City Manager
So-
Short.
Yeah, so we had one applicant, but that applicant has been withdrawn.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so we don't have we're not gonna have a quorum. We really need to get out and beat the bushes on this one to try to get people that are willing to commit, because this is a really big time commitment.
How do we assist in recruitment of that commission?
I don't know. Ask your friends.
Jenny.
I really don't know. I mean, it's hard to get people to volunteer, and so,
So do we not have any applicants?
no, the one has been withdrawn.
No, yes.
All right, so do we move on, or do we need to,
Well, I
because there's
think-
no one to appoint, so do we just move on to the next
Yeah,
agenda item?
I mean, you can direct staff to look for people. I mean,
Yeah,
that's really
I-
what we need to do, is try to find a way
Go
to
ahead,
try to
yeah.
Well,
get
just
people.
a comment, you know, in asking people to apply for the planning commission, I've had people who are really interested in that, but they've seen the political climate, and they just don't really care to be the target of that. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
think there's plenty of talent and knowledge out there.
Yeah.
And maybe as that changes, then people will be more receptive.
Yeah, and I think some folks are just kind of hesitating because of the expertise and the time commitment of the planning commission.
Right.
That's a big. And then I've had some people tell me they were ready to do it, and then when they realized they had to fill out a 700 form, they kind of went, eh.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
required
And
for
right away.
every commissioner.
So, so there's a lot of reasons.
And for planning commission, a 700 form is more important than probably any other commission.
Right, right,
Yeah.
yeah.
For sure.
I mean, and there's a lot of folks in town, really skilled carpenters and creative people that would take very well to that, but I think in some respects, again, there's people just hesitant to make that time commitment.
Now, the planning commission does not require a residency, is that correct?
No, it does.
I think.
Oh, it also, oh. Okay.
That's the only one that does
Anyone
require.
approach Robert Russo?
He was
Robert
not on, he was
Russo.
not on my list of people to pester. But I'd be game. I'll call anybody.
He would be amazing. And
Yeah,
he's
he would.
retired. He has the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy to give him a call.
Any further public comment on this item? Do we want to direct staff to continue to search for planning commission? I think it's more, yeah.
Yeah, and we just continue with the postings and.
Let us know how we can help.
Yeah. It doesn't say specifically what the residency requirements are, so.
I thought for some
I
reason
will
the
see if I
planning
can
was.
find out.
It's in the municipal code. It's
Yeah.
absolutely-
Yeah,
it's
sorry.
required.
For the planning
Well, and I wonder
commission.
if it could be expanded to our sphere of influence or a slightly larger group of people.
I don't know, that's one that has no, that's the only one that requires all members to be.
All members, city residents.
Ah.
And I think there's good reason for that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, since our town is getting so tiny.
It's cozy.
Are we ready to move on? Okay,
Yeah.
Great. We've already done our commission consolidation. Council correspondence, we have none
No, you have
Well, we
one.
have some.
You have an email
from my favorite.
from, her name is Lisa Smith.
Okay,
It's about stormwater management.
saw that.
Uh-huh.
Great. We generally don't read those out loud.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, you do have one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Reports of council and staff. Ad hoc committee reports.
I think Terry and I did ours with the budget. I think that speaks for itself. John and I just did ours on the commission.
Did
Good
ours.
job.
And then you and I did ours on the city clerk.
And things are getting done.
Not much to report.
Yeah.
We were hoping to have something done around the end of the year. Me and Michelle talked briefly about it, but having kind of like an overview of what we've accomplished and what we've done. Is that something the council still would want to see?
About all the ad hocs, you mean?
Well, not the ad hocs, but just like all the things that we've accomplished this year and all the things that we have going forward, kind of just like a oversight. Or is that something that Jenny, that'd be more likely something Jenny would
Well, and
present?
it can be part of even as you go through the budget process of being able to really show what staff and council, and both financially and also with their time, what has been accomplished.
Okay. Is that something we'd want to have presented or anything like that?
I think it's a good idea. And as you and I being the transparency ad hoc committee,
There you go.
we've come up with a few different ideas about different things to do to try to make council meetings a little more digestible, like doing like a 3-minute recap in video after a meeting and say this is what we did, putting that out on social media. Maybe doing I don't know. It's kind of I put out a little video when I during the election. I did about a 35-40-minute video of question answers, and that got some good feedback. People seem to feel like getting some concise, direct answers to certain questions was helpful. So I'd like to try to do a council recap kind of a thing after meetings. At one point, John used AI to generate this is what's gonna happen at the meeting, kind of a blurb. And that, makes that a little more digestible than
That's
the agenda, which sometimes people don't really understand what it entails. So maybe some stuff like that, just to kind of bring people a little bit more into the know.
Emily, go ahead.
May I suggest, as we look at fiscal year 26-27 budget, prior councils and administrations have had strategic plans to guide them and be able to check off. So that may be something to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've just been kind of.
Good one.
I think ours is expired as of 2018, the
Yes.
last one.
Yeah.
I think we are aware and have desired that for some time.
Yeah, that's come up a couple of times, but thank you for the reminder.
Thanks for making us feel terrible.
No.
Something that we had asked, and I think it's kind of fallen off on the agenda, is to have a future agenda item.
I think that that's on here.
Number 20.
Yeah, number
Oh,
20.
it's the next one.
Number 20. We're not there
I
yet.
even have all these bullets to fill in.
Yeah, it's right here.
And I can't find
All
any.
of the direction that will be given.
Oh, yeah, I know. It was a lot. It was big. We did a lot.
Well,
So,
and
well
this-
done.
Thanks.
So is a year report from the Transparency Committee something that would interest you guys? Like, it just, this is all we've done, and I guess,
Year in review.
okay, year in review.
Sure, and with like, stuff left to do, or like, just like a little progress report, or, I think that that's probably a good idea for all of us to revisit what our original purpose has been, and then what we still have to do moving forward, and if we still need to continue with the ad hoc as well.
Sounds good.
So are you, when, when is that due?
We'll get, it's 1 to 3 months.
Okay.
1 to 3 months. We're giving ourselves some breathing room. We're
Okay,
just,
thank you.
yeah.
Is it gonna go like the budget? We just kind
We're gonna put that off.
No.
We're gonna extend it.
All right, does anyone have no more commission reports? Ad hoc reports? Sorry, ad hoc reports. Any more ad hoc reports? Does the public have any comments on the ad hoc reports?
Yes.
Seeing none, bring it back to council.
And then this would
Commission
also
updates.
be like, would commission be what we're liaison to, like any of our,
Yeah, HGOG or.
yeah,
all those.
or HWMA, or, yeah. I don't have a lot to report.
I did attend the Redwood Regional Economic Development Commission, and Chris Nicholson from the Humboldt Bay Harbor District came, and he did a presentation, and he did say, let people know out there that the wind project is not off the table. And he said that the state had given a $4 million matching, and then they are looking at backfilling what the federal government's taken away, so they're still going to move forward. And he said there was some issues with maybe the Coast Guard, their ship not being here, but they really fought for it to stay here in Humboldt County with the assistance of the Harbor District, so it looks like it's staying. And they did get a grant, all the pilings that are out there in the bay, those have creosote, and they have put a lot of dioxins into the bay, and so they're getting close to being able to work on a grant and funding to be able to take those all out. So it was interesting. And I have the Chamber of Commerce, I'm also on that, and I appreciate Justin, I'm now on the list, being able to get to where the meeting is. The meeting was changed, and so, and I didn't know that. So Justin is putting me on the list, and so I will be attending that regularly. The last one was canceled, but yeah, due to illness.
Great.
Elise?
Okay, so we had a Public Safety Commission meeting earlier this month. I want Linda report on that.
You can have a report if you
Can I have
want.
Linda report on that?
Prepared, but we did discuss the survey.
Would you mind coming up front if it's? Okay. It's fine.
Sorry, Lynn.
Okay, we did get a return on the survey. I think that they handed out about 100 surveys. They got back about 20, and that was, according to Jill, a respectable response. So we had Mike, the city engineer, here to talk about the costs of speed bumps and speed tables. There had been discussion about adding a bunch of those to a particular neighborhood. So there was discussion of that and the survey, and I think that's sort of the gist. So I also went to a River Coast Energy Authority meeting, and we had a couple of things there that are possibly of interest to the greater public. One of them is that the regional climate action plan is probably going to be housed at RCEA. We discussed that, and the staff there is putting together a proposal to be kind of the lead on housing the regional climate action plan. And there's some issues, some new changes in the way that PG&E is going to be formulating the bills, and so that's going to look a little bit different, so we discussed that as well. We discussed lots and lots of things, but those are the two items that I earmarked might be interesting to the general public.
Great.
I just have a question. The climate action plan, is that like an event? What is the?
No, that's like the long-term, climate action plan to reduce greenhouse emissions, and, it's the great, big, overarching energy plan.
Separate from, so it's gonna be its own arm of RCEA.
It's the whole county climate action plan.
Gotcha.
But it's
And
gonna
so-
be how, that whole coalition committee.
The coalition committee,
Everything
got it.
is gonna be housed,
Okay.
it's the county climate action plan, but it's gonna be housed under
Thank you.
RCA.
Gotcha, okay, thank you.
Arts and Heritage did not meet. I missed the last HCOG meeting. I tried to get it was very late notice. I tried to get my helper to come help. And the previous one, we did our arena allocation for the city of Eureka, or excuse me, our Humboldt County. And we've had one member contest the plan that we picked, so we'll be potentially looking at revising that, but we'll know in the near future.
Wow.
Questions? Michelle?
I attended the Humboldt Waste Management Authority, and it was great, as usual, but I don't have anything specific to report out at this time.
Great.
Well, not part of the commissions that I'm a liaison for. I did have a phone meeting, and so you did as well, Elise. You came in on the tail end of that with the EOPA, that's Elected Officials Protecting America. And they've really have been instrumental in facilitating a lot of conversations with like the Chris Mickelson, RCA, and others. They're very interested in the offshore wind energy that's, they're actually out in Maine, the founders on this. And as you know, a lot of money just got ripped away from Maine and from California as well for offshore wind energy. And that doesn't mean that the conversation dies. And, as you've alluded to, that they're still gonna take those steps in preparedness. And, Blue Lake, we're kind of having these conversations about how we might be a part of that. Whether, maybe it's a staging place where some assemblies are made, whether it's, development of transmission site that kind of jumps off for $2.99, getting that powered from here to the I-5 corridor, or it could be through microgridding and battery energy storage. So there's still a lot of this kind of, we're trying to avail ourselves of some of these national experts and see, how do they see how we might be able to develop long-term revenue streams that we have control over. So,
Great.
Great.
Julie Christie?
Julie Christie, go ahead.
Thank you guys so much for letting me get some comments in on your report. I'm spanning 3 of your board representations for us in this conversation. But that would be going back to RCAA with Elise, HCOG with John. You missed the meeting. I actually was one of the only few people zoomed in on that for public comment, which is why I'm leaving public comment here. Maybe we'll get some more participation. And Kat, kind of going back to your just comments there. I listened to Delnor County supervisors this morning, and kind of their stance on the offshore stuff is they can control what happens on our land here. So keeping that in mind as stuff moves forward, that's where we have jurisdiction to move forward. Going back to the climate action plan though, that spans both RCA and HCOG, actually both deciding at this point in time who would procure that from the county. I feel that we are misleaded in that because Gary, at one point, Reese for the SHN had said that he had worked on that plan and that he'd be bringing it to our council. Most of the municipalities did get it brought to them, but honestly, the climate action plan, in my opinion, was slipped under the noses of everybody in Humboldt County. It was very unfortunate. It's still not getting much attention for actually what we're having to do with this. And I think it needs all the participation and involvement that it can. So given that we have a few people representing us on these different boards, we should have some presentations hopefully coming forward soon for our community about what the climate action plan is. I think that's appropriate at this time. We already missed the bus and that's unfortunate. However, we need to be caught up and all together. So thank you for letting me just chime in on these little things because they're big things. We're so sometimes distracted from the bigger things. And so I appreciate just throwing it out there. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Does anyone else wish to comment on the reports out? Okay. City manager report.
I do not have anything to add to what we've already talked about.
Great. Okay.
Can I just, I don't think we made a public announcement that we hired a finance manager and a city clerk.
You
Have
actually
we?
have not appointed your city clerk yet. You will do
Right.
that at the special meeting, which we need to pick a date for. But yes, we did hire a finance manager. Her name is Carrie Crooker. She is a CPA and she started yesterday.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's going well.
And our not yet appointed city clerk, when is she expected to start?
She told me she will start the day after you appoint her or February 9th, whichever is later. So if we have the meeting on the 10th, she'll start on the 11th.
On that note, and I hope it's appropriate, I wanted to ask you, Michelle. Michelle and I were on the city clerk ad hoc and
Right.
on the job description. And do you think it would be helpful, and I don't know if you'd be willing, if we would kind of at least gather some of the resources that we've had and found, like I know you're with the League of California Cities, and that might be links that are helpful to her.
Sure.
Any kind of names and lists that we can put together, references for, just a little.
Yeah, we can just start a
Packet.
binder of stuff.
Yeah.
over.
And would you like some assistance from us, or staff has that covered?
I'm happy to accept anything that you have.
Okay.
Great.
And, sorry, could you tell us anything about?
Oh, yeah, so that's from Jill. She felt like we needed an updated and abridged version of the Brown Act that you could reference, and that each person could have their own copy, mark it up as they saw fit. We also posted, I think, to the website, so that anybody who wants a copy of it can get it there. But it is pretty long, and so we just kind of put them in a small binder so you could bring them with you if you wanted, or,
Tell her thank you.
yeah, read them when you're trying to go to sleep. No, I didn't say that.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any future agenda items?
Yes.
Well, I would like to, let's get that, if we could get a special meeting set for February.
Can you guys pick a day today so that I can?
That would be
put it on?
great.
Yeah, that'd be ideal.
I know we've been talking, what was the date?
We were talking about February 10th.
10th, okay.
Yeah, that's a Tuesday. It seemed like sticking with Tuesdays worked best for people, but, I mean,
So-
staff is open to whatever.
What all do we have to put on that agenda?
Well, what I have so far is I can present the financial statements through the end of December. I have a section here where I would like to just have a standing item that's related to capital project updates. And I'm just gonna kind of work through all the projects and slowly bring them all to you. Right now I have the water tank project, the bike and skate park project, and then I'd like to present information on funds 11, 12, and 13 at the meeting, so you can see what happened with those and what we need to do to close them out.
Okay.
I also have the appointment of your city clerk and giving her the oath of office, and then also approval of a resolution and a memorandum of understanding with the Mountain Bike Tribal Trail Alliance. That was on this agenda, but it just kept getting longer and longer, and so they agreed to be postponed. So that could either be on the 10th or the 24th. And then potentially a closed session item, depending on whether we need it or not. And then I also wrote down from your meeting that at some point, maybe not on the special one, but that you want to consider 2 meetings per month and coming back with the consolidation for the commission.
I'd also look at, like, I would also like to look at meeting 30 minutes early if anyone can do that, or did we decide we couldn't do that in the past? I mean, and we can have that discussion later, but like tag that on to the special meetings.
And starting at 6 is what you're saying?
Yes.
I'm happy to if I don't have to work, but if that's a work day for me, then I can't start for 6:30. And I don't usually work on Tuesdays,
Well.
but
We'll just have a discussion.
Okay. I'll add that to the 2 meetings and or 6 o'clock.
I can meet on the 10th at 6:30 or 6. Have to tell me.
Sorry, I know you kind of ran down that list. It would be appointing the city clerk and just what else highlights on that meeting?
So we'll need to give her the oath of office, either at the meeting or shortly thereafter. I will have the quarterly financial report for October through the December 31st by then available. I would have an item for capital project updates. And so the 5 that I was planning on including in this one is the water tank project, the bike and skate park project, with hopefully a corrective action plan proposed. Funds 11, 12, and 13, which I can find the names of if you want, but they are projects. One of them's a COVID project, one's a state parks per capita thing where we got money and then we spent it and what remains of that. So each one of them was a special project of some kind. And then I also have on there the MOU and a resolution with the Mountain Bike Tribal Trail Alliance, which is basically a duplicate of what we did with RCMB. I think there's an A on there too. And possibly a closed session item.
who is the Mountain Bike Tribal Trail Alliance?
Sean Frey, I'm not sure how you say it. He's the head of it. He actually has a meeting set up with me for next Tuesday.
And he's also part of Skate Park Collective, correct?
I think so,
Yeah.
yes.
Who was originally in the design plans for the half pipe that they were gonna have out there.
So are we good on the 10th?
I think so.
Okay.
And we can put fewer items on the agenda if you want this to be a short meeting, and some of these we can push to the 24th.
Okay.
I've got a procedure on Tuesday.
Okay.
So if I come in drooling and out of it, just don't expect much.
Just
Okay.
poke you with the stick.
Yeah, just let me sleep.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's one other item I think we might want to put on either this agenda or another. And that is a discussion about how we designate the mayor amongst, not just how, but how often. I think that a year ago in December, we were all kind of deer in the headlights, and we didn't have a chance to discuss this at all. But a little bird had a conversation about doing it more often than, and there's conflicting information. I scoured the municipal code recently, trying to find where in the municipal code it says that we designate our mayor and how often, and it's not there that I could find. But I've seen it in 2 different places. One of them is just online on our website that says we do it every year, and another, and I think it's in the Roles and Responsibilities Manual, and I might say 2 years in there. So there's kind of a bunch of conflicting information out there, and I don't know if we might want to have a conversation about that. And if we do, then it needs to be agendized.
Well, and I would like us to look at, as far as the budget goes, how can we get the community involved in that process? I know you had listed that it would be possible to, have some kind of community meetings instead of it just being, you get down to the very end, everybody's passed everything, and then you ask what they think of it. So having a discussion about what we might be able to do to get the public involved in our budget process, the financial process.
Are you thinking like at the ad hoc committee level?
Well, I don't know if you can have the public, because if we have public, then I think it has to be like a regular meeting. I'm not sure about that.
I think you have to agendize it so everybody knows.
Isn't that probably more of a, I'm not trying to say no to that. I'm just saying, wouldn't that be more of like a visioning meeting for the public to come and weigh in on, and or open meeting about?
With the entire council?
Yeah.
Like a
I'm
working
just trying to,
group
a
meeting.
work
Yeah.
group or something
Yeah,
where
that's what I was saying, just a discussion.
So in the timeline that I laid out, when would you like to try to put that in the series of?
I don't, yeah.
After
I
the
think
ad
that
hoc
would be
committee's
part-
seen it, or-
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
So are we listing future agenda items, it sounds like?
Sounds like it.
I do have a couple.
Kat has some.
Community visioning. And along with that, look at our general plan, circulation element. I know that's, I think more emergent is the flooding issues. I don't know if a drainage study would be the first step or whatever, but, kind of having some really frank discussions about where we are with our infrastructure.
Yeah.
And I think that has to be kind of hand in hand with the budget too.
Mhm.
And then a strategic visioning that as we kind of begin to dial things in what we hope would be on that board, we really have to also know from staff what their capacity is to do these things and what that looks like.
Is there anything going on in the water flooding arena?
So what I know is that there's the potential, as part of the grant application that we're considering doing for the wastewater treatment plant expansion, that we might be able to include some sort of like a drainage master plan. Along those lines, I've been working with SHN's GIS staff in trying to set up the city with their own GIS license so that we can start housing our own information. Because turns out there's quite a bit of information available, and SHN just houses it, and the city doesn't use it because we don't have a way to be able to use shapefile. So I'm doing a little bit of looking as far as like what computer would be required, what quality of computer would be required to be able to run that. But I'd really like to get our hands on that information so that we can use it ourselves and we can choose to distribute it to whatever consultant we might want to, as opposed to working with the same consultant all the time because they have it.
Mm-hmm.
It also gives us the opportunity as we do projects to be able to create a common grid that's used and a common elevation system. And then we just require them to provide whatever plans they did in that format. So then you can overlay them on top of your backgrounds. And it's a pretty powerful tool. It's just not something that the city's ever done before, as far as I can tell. But they did have some surveying done, and I got a copy of the map that has been created out of that, of the sewer system. So I think the same sort of a thing is what we need to do for the drainage system, to get a clear understanding of what's actually out there, what are the elevations, how big are the pipes, and then go from there.
Is that something that you can bring back for, as a future agenda item? As a presentation?
Sure. You mean for how GIS works?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And just in terms of any kind of more emergency type mitigations that we might do for the next big dumper.
Yeah, and maybe sort of related is the Powers Creek Restoration Project. They had applied for 2 different grant options, and the one with Fish and Wildlife, they were denied last week or so. So there's only the Prop 4 one left at this point to do the next phase.
Oh, that's too bad.
So that's unfortunate.
That's really
And that
unfortunate.
Prop 4, could that potentially fund the project or not really?
No, it's for construction.
Stop swaying from.
The design's completely done. Have you guys seen the plans for that?
Yeah,
Which one?
sort of.
I
Okay,
didn't
maybe
hear.
I'll add that to my list. The Powers Creek Restoration.
Uh-huh.
That
Yeah,
got
we-
denied?
Just Fish and Wildlife did.
And do we know when the Prop 4 answer might be
I
forthcoming?
don't know the exact date, but I think it's fairly soon. I can find out.
Any other agenda items?
So, I think we still need to talk about emergency flood mitigations in spite of where they are with the Powers Creek, because they're not even proposing to get anywhere near where
No.
some of our problems are.
No, and the phases start at the bottom and they work their way up,
Right.
and it's a ways to get to where we're actually having the problem.
We
Right,
have-
so it's years before they'll get there.
I think so.
So, can we talk about doing something that's separate from them to try to work on that?
Maybe that would be a good agenda item.
Okay.
Yes.
We have flooding conversation. Is that not sufficient? I don't, well, I mean, wasn't that a future agenda?
Yeah.
Is it not covered under that?
Well, we were talking about the restoration, but this is not restoration. It would be separate from that.
So if I understand correctly, Elise, you're talking about both emergency response and anything that can be done in the short term to try to mitigate? Okay. That's not gonna happen on February 10th, just.
Understood, yes, understood.
I'm not expecting
Okay. Expectation setting.
Understood, yes.
And Kat, you brought up community visioning, right? Julie, go ahead.
Yes, thank you again, you guys. So I really appreciate you going over a lot of discussion on future agenda items, but I think the best recommendation the council can give staff at this point in time is to move forward in February with looking at our scheduling for 2 meetings again a month. That's gonna help deliberate a lot of this like overburden right now. I appreciate that you guys took time. It was kind of almost like the manager's report slash like new agenda, but that's fine. That's where we're at. And I think there's a lot of dialogue. So for new agenda items, just to keep stuff in order, I think the best thing would be to actually give that recommendation definitely at this meeting that that in February, we are talking about maybe having those extra meetings a month again. And then that way, if we cancel them, no big deal. But if we need them, they're already locked and ready. I think that's going to be really productive. And going back to a lot of the stuff we have going on there, we can deliberate where it needs to go a little quicker than later, hopefully. And I know it's late night for you guys for closed sessions coming, but I think you need to remember too, when we're having like new agenda items, they're not up for discussion now. They're just getting shoved there and then we move on. But we have a lot of discussion. I know we need to do that, but just for the future. Yeah, because we don't want to ever discuss something that wasn't on the agenda, is where I'm at. Thank you.
Quick comment also.
Sure, yes, please.
I wasn't clear, but if you're talking about flooding, and I think it's really important to do that, I'm hoping along with mitigation, prevention will be discussed. I think that culvert up there plugged up twice, 2 years in a row, and it was not supposed to happen, so looking at what happened and what we can do so it won't happen again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Last call for public comment. All right, bring it back to council. No other agenda items, correct? Seeing none. Great. Moving on to closed session. Public comment on closed session agenda items. Does anyone wish to comment on our closed session items? Seeing none. Julie, go ahead.
Okay, I'm chiming in one last time. I've said from the beginning, I don't know what's going on now, but sometimes maybe the situation we have isn't best. Maybe we need another location. I don't know if the council has had a chance to reach out to like Green Diamond. I know they have been doing a lot with McKinleyville with the park there and kind of like kicking back places so that they get their kickbacks. And if maybe it's an option to contact Green Diamond, maybe that would be warranted. Thank you.
Julie?
All right. Can we entertain a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
Motion made by Scafani,
Second.
seconded by Bayless. All those in favor of going into closed session say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Hearing none, we're going into closed session. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Thank you.